Hey, everybody. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are in this big, beautiful world that we're in. Welcome in. Welcome and welcome and welcome. Thank you for coming and listening to our podcast, the AM Affirmations Space, where we speak nicely to ourselves. My co host, Miss Marcy of Marcy Moments, can be found on all of the platforms. She has a beautiful share that she does almost daily. Make sure you get some of that because you won't regret it. And then we have Miss Clavia Allen of her Chosen 31 Essentials. Okay, I just started to notice that she's doing something different. So I'm going to use this instead. But if you're looking for someone to help you with your book, she's your person. She has a 12-week women's program for growth that she has started, and I encourage you to tap into her on any of the socials so that you can take advantage of what she has. My name is Karon Fairweather. I am also known as the Affirmation Whisperer and the founder of Boldly Becoming Her. I too am on all the socials. I am focusing on women in their midlife, rediscovering who they are and who they can become, hence boldly becoming her.
Yes,
So, with all
ma'am.
that being said, you guys, with all that being said, thank you so much for being here with us. We so appreciate our listeners. We call them affirmers because that's the foundation of what we do here. You'll see with every episode, we don't close 99% of the time, and it's my fault when we don't. 99% of the time, we don't close an episode without sharing affirmations. Sometimes my brain is going way too fast than it should, but affirmations are the foundation of what we do here because we believe in speaking nicely to ourselves.
Yes.
You might be looking for somebody else to speak nicely to you, but are you speaking nicely to yourself? Why are we
Perfect.
looking for somebody else to do something that we should be doing for ourselves? Don't
Mm.
even get me started on that subject. But the subject we are going to talk about today, the topic we're going to talk about is the weight we carry, unlearning the habit of doing it all. Now,
Mm.
how many of us affirmers, as you listen to this, I want you to answer the question too. How many of you have watched your mothers, your grandmothers, your aunts, all kinds of women in your
Yourself.
life, ourselves, try to do it all? And I purposely say try to do it all. Think about the holidays, how the women were up all night long cooking all the food while everybody else was doing what? Sleeping.
Sleeping.
Mhm. Mhm.
Learn
No, that's true.
behavior of
You trying to
how,
cook, wrap gifts,
come on, Miss Marcy, do it
do
all,
one
right?
or the other.
Listen. But at the same time, our bodies are telling us, please go lay down and go to sleep.
Mhm.
Please sit
Oh,
down.
our producer say stressed out, snapping on people.
That too. That too. So with this topic, what are we carrying that we shouldn't be carrying? We need to unlearn these habits. We were talking earlier about some things that were done. We watched them being done by others over the generations that we may have carried into our existence, right? And I was sharing I was, I was sharing a few that just seem so ridiculous now. But our producer brought the point up about the story of the I think it's a roast or whatever that has the bone in it that you have to cut off because of various reasons, and the generation after generation was doing it, but nobody knew why. But they went back to the person that kind of started it all, say, "Oh, because it was too big for the pan, so I just cut it off." But
Mhm.
nobody ever asked why, because maybe their roast was just fine for their pan. But because that's something they saw modeled for them, they never questioned it. They just did it because if Big Mama say do it this way, we're gonna do it this way. We're not gonna question Big Mama. Listen, I'm an advocate for respect in every kind of way, but I'm more of an advocate for knowledge. Tell me why you doing that so I know what I'm doing. And when my children ask me, I was sharing earlier how my son asked the question of Mama, well, why did y'all do that back then? Honestly, I had to say I don't know, and I was a little embarrassed about that because wait, why don't you know why you doing what you're doing? Because it was modeled for me. It was modeled for me. So with that being said, ladies, let's jump right into this, get this popping. The strong woman conditioning. What does that mean? The strong woman conditioning.
A fake narrative of yourself or what, and it, this is what Black women have been forced to be. This is, to me, a narrative that, remember, we did the masculine, Black women being too masculine. What they made us do is always think that we had to do everything. With one, we demasculate the Black man, and when we do everything, we can save the world. But that was a lie that has been put on us for generations. Like we said in our earlier episode, I know what I want to do. I want to live a life of ease, luxury, and productivity.
Mm-hmm.
So this narrative of you, oh, you the strong, resilient Black woman, you could do it all. I'm tired. I don't feel like it no more. Because if I'm doing it all, why? I need to leave some for somebody else. Because I
Yeah.
know there's people more qualified than me to do it. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm good with it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, I can definitely say, thinking back from more on my mom's side, my grandmother was with a couple of men, right? And I learned that later in life, where, yeah, the struggle was real. And we realized that a lot of our ancestors, they made it work with who they had. And, maybe it just didn't work out. And they worked with what they had. And all of my aunts on my mom's side are entrepreneurs, right? And I want to say, out of all of them, one is still married, one spouse is deceased. The situation, one basically just always had to make it work, right? They had to work. And again, being entrepreneurs, one is a beautician, bringing the money in, one is a nail tech, bringing the money in, one is I call her a street hustler, but she's also a business owner where she sells watches and jewelries and stuff. But seeing them, and then I have this entrepreneur spirit in my blood, I too now have to work hard to make it work, right? But learning and growing, now I don't have to do it alone. Then I look back, right? My aunt now has employees where she's now not just doing it on her own, but now she's teaching and training people. So realizing, okay, I can do the same thing. My other aunt, she has now other beauticians in her salon. So for myself, although I know how to do it because I know how, I'm now also giving myself grace to learn how to rest, right? Closing that laptop at a certain time, but also now
Yeah.
trusting to delegate others to do what, although I can do it maybe better, I trust you to do it as well, or to do that handoff. So realize that I don't have to carry it, even though I have to carry it, I don't have to carry it alone.
That could look
Yeah.
different. Carrying it can look different as opposed
Hmm.
to physically, emotionally, and spiritually carrying it. You may be spiritually carrying it because you're praying about it, you're meditating about it, but do you have to physically carry it? Not necessarily.
Right.
That's where the delegation can come in,
Yeah.
especially when we are having someone to assist us or we've hired someone in our businesses or handling a personal issue for us, assisting us with a personal issue. Of course you want to choose carefully. But if you're going to delegate, delegate and let it go. Leave them folks
True.
alone. You ask them to do it, let them do it.
You're right.
Until they
Yeah.
prove that they can't do it, leave them alone, let them do it. But I've seen this demonstrated and I've been guilty of it. And my son, he is such a corrector for me. I'll give him a task to do, and then I'm looking around the corner to see if he's doing it right. Like, what are you doing, Mom? You asked me to do it. Let me do it. I don't need you to watch me do it. You raised me right. I know how to do it. Let me do it. And I say thank you. I do. I say him
And you leave
tell
it.
him thank you. I needed that reminder to just let it go. If I'm going to
Yeah.
give it to you and release it and let go of it. Now, the question that I wanted to for us to ponder outside of the one I've already asked is, where did we learn that doing it all equates to our worthiness?
Mm.
Where did we learn that from? I'll tell you where I learned it from. The women around me,
Same.
because they were
Yeah.
getting such
From what I
accolades.
saw.
Ooh, mama stayed up all night and she could. I remember my former husband. I was at my mom's house for whatever reason. I think we were preparing Christmas at my mom's, and I was there, and I was preparing all my stuff for to make the sweet potato pies, and I make amazing sweet potato pies.
Okay,
But
I'll take note of
something,
that.
yes, girl, amazing, amazing. This all my family raised about it, but I didn't have. Oh, the blender stopped working. He said, "Oh no, we need to go get a blender because we need to make sure you make those sweet potato pies." I had so much pride in my chest. I was so proud that he was going to do whatever he needed to do to go get these sweet potato pies, that I was going to end up being up by myself, because the process is so detailed that it takes many steps to do it the way I want to. That I was so proud that he's going to get this another blender for me really quick so I can stay up all night and make these sweet potato pies.
Mm-hmm.
When the reality of that set in, I'm sure that was not his intent. I'm not saying that he wanted me to be slaving. He just wanted those
Hmm.
pies. And if it meant a new blender so I can get those pies, that's all that really mattered
By
at that
any
moment.
means
But
necessary.
Brittany, look, but for
Right.
me, I was so happy and just felt like, oh, he's happy about, he'll do anything for me to make sure I make these pies. But what does it take for me to make these pies 10 o'clock at night? Then I will be up all night because I got to make sure they brown properly. I got to make sure this and make sure that, which means staying up all night to make sure these 15 pies bake the way that I want them to. I had to really think about this. So why couldn't you start earlier, or maybe break it up? Cook a few this day and a few the other day, and
Hmm.
instead of being up all for 2 days to come cook them all in one day.
Yeah.
Why? Because I watched my grandmama, my mom, and my aunt, and my sisters. We all did the same thing. There's nothing wrong with doing your best to do your best. But when you're doing your best to do your best at a sacrifice of your own health, there's something wrong with that. So
Hmm.
we have watched women do it for centuries, for decades, even for years. We've been watching it. But I think it's time to look at things a little differently, don't you think?
Oh yeah.
It's time
And
to
you
look at
won't
them a
catch
little
me.
different. Go ahead.
Sorry about that. I was gonna say you won't
No.
catch me because especially in the Caribbean, they would change curtains, they would dust, they would all these things, baking and the cooking. You would not catch Clivia doing that because I love sleep. Honestly, I do love sleep, and it's only recent because of business is why I do what the unlearning those habits. But normally I would just my house is always clean, right? So you don't have to what is it, get ready to be ready or be that saying, whatever it is. But no, you're not gonna catch me changing curtains and baking. I'll cook at 1 p.m., put the food in the fridge, and we will see you tomorrow at lunch. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely didn't pick up that habit because that's what my mom did for years. And then she wouldn't be able to sit with us because she's still getting other things together. So that's a habit that I just didn't pick up. I didn't pick it up. And I know for
Yeah.
sure Zara's not gonna she'll do even better next generation. Yeah.
Yeah. Since I can't cook, that's not even a topic that
Yeah,
I can
because Marcy,
discuss.
tell me about that. Why? Because is it because you always had someone that can?
Yeah. Yeah. Because
Mm.
my mama could cook. My mom, well, she did all right. And then I don't know. I floated around. I don't know how I survived for some years, and then that's why. That's why I married my husband because he could cook.
Because he was a oh,
So
okay.
now I survive off of spinach and mushrooms and salmon. So other than that, every now and again I'll do some zucchini and squash. So that's staying up all night. Now I would. I would stay up all night and wrap gifts. I would wrap my
Mhm.
gifts. I would wrap my son's gifts. Yes, I would wrap my gifts and open them as if I didn't know what they were.
Right.
And I love to wrap gifts because I love gift giving. I do love gift giving. Um, but like I said, being in the kitchen, I'll fix stuffing every now and again back in the day. But yeah, now
Yeah.
if I decide to go out, but 9 times out of 10, if I stay home, I'm gonna eat me some peanut butter and jelly, and keep it moving. And
Right.
I'm still thankful for the day if it's Thanksgiving and Christmas. I ain't even worried about it because that ain't Jesus' real birthday. But that's a whole different subject,
That, all we know that he was born, right? That's the important
right?
part.
And he's actually a Gemini.
You said a Gemini?
He a Gemini.
Listen though,
I
wait,
hear
wait.
that.
So the wrapping gifts thing, I think it's a lot of fun wrapping gifts. But still, we don't need to be up to 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning wrapping gifts. We can do it earlier in the day or a different day. And this is my
Exactly.
point about us unlearning the behaviors that were modeled for us, right, wrong, or otherwise. They did the best they knew how with what they did. But we're in an age where there's so much information available to us that when you know better, do better. I'm not going to keep up the same traditions that nearly took somebody in my family out
Mhm.
just
Mhm.
because it was a family tradition. I'm just not going to do that. I'm not going to support it. Now, if you want to continue, do you, but I'm not going to support it because clearly there was something out of balance with that. Now, the cultural and generational roots of the superwoman syndrome, particularly for us black women, where did that come from? Ms. Marcy, I want you to chime in on that one because you had something very interesting you shared earlier about that.
Oh, they told us that's what we needed to be. They gave they gave us this title, the colonizers, okay, gave us this title for that. One, it demasculates our black men. So you tell me I'm resilient, I'm strong, I can do it all. If I can do it all, I'm strong and I'm resilient. Why I need a man? So
Mhm.
that was the implant for us to really demasculate our black men. And that's why a lot of times they was like, we too much to handle. But this is what the colonizers told us,
They force on us. Yeah.
gave us, and we ran with it. And once more and again, no, I don't want to no more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take the
I want to
people.
live. I live a life of ease, luxury, and productivity. Period.
Yeah.
Because no longer should we think that we need to do it all, and that comes from ego. When you could do it all, why you need somebody?
Mhm.
I can't do it all. I need my
Yeah.
tribal members. I'm grateful for my tribal members.
Yeah.
Because you got to think about it, like with children. Let's say the three of us are in the same area and we have small children. I know I can't make it to the school by 6 o'clock or whatever time you pick up kids. But both of y'all are picking up your kids. We live in the same area. We're tribal members. Hey, Karon, Clavia, can you pick up my baby? I know I can't make it. I'm gonna
Mhm.
be 30 minutes late to come pick you. Oh, cool. Because 9 times out of 10, if you're already there, let me pick this one up. By the time,
Mm-hmm.
and the way tribal should work to unburden us, they would have a snack by the time you get there, by the time I got there. So
Yeah.
now mind you, I'm already 30 minutes late. So I'm already rushing. I'm already stressed. And then I could take my baby home. They not hungry at this particular time, but then I could go home and get them something to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the releasing
Yeah.
Yes.
the I gotta do it all.
Mhm.
I think about some of the things like our producer just mentioned about the brow burning thing, and I think of how with that whole era of brow burning and the liberation of women, I think about culturally who really took that mindset on of being the liberated woman as a culture, who really, really took that mindset on. When I think of our counterparts, and when I think of the thought of the bra burning era, I see in my mind's eye a lot of our counterparts out there burning their bras. Not so much us, but that mindset of bra burning. I see that our culture took that mindset on of bra burning, the liberation. I don't need a man. I can do this all by myself. When I think of our counterparts, that's not the mindset that's being exercised.
No, because they have been coddled. Okay, we have to be the strong one. You don't hear them. You don't hear them calling the others resilient, resourceful. You don't hear. They don't call them that.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
don't. They don't walk in that.
And that's why you think about the system that's built or being built or was built, because to make us strong is to remove the male, right? The masculine from the home, put them behind cages, so to speak. Because then I want her to be able to do that, because then she don't have nobody else to depend on. So we have to definitely change that narrative,
Right.
even for our young people, for them to understand, no, you can rest in your strength.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we don't have to follow that
And
narrative
and
anymore.
support him at the same time.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
You can be the woman who has that knowledge, has that wisdom,
Hmm.
and at the same time support him in the joint effort or whatever
Yeah.
it is he's doing, right? Just
Yeah.
because I may know a little bit more about this than he does, or a little bit more about a few things than he does not mean that puts me in a position where I need to run him.
Hmm.
That's the narrative that has been fed to us, where if you're the breadwinner, you're educated, you're this, you're that, then that puts you better than him. So you have to tell him what to do. You bring in more money than him, or you this and you that. It is such a way of two things I see at play here. It's such a way of exhausting us and such a way of minimizing the man.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I know
That's
of
what they
a
want.
it, I know of a couple of couples where the woman has a degree, the man does not. The woman has held management positions, the man has not. However, that man has made some very good choices financially
Hmm.
that has positioned him to do some great financial things
Right.
by all kinds of what am I trying vehicles, motor vehicles, that's the word I'm trying to say,
Hmm.
motor vehicles, build fabulous homes. But mind you, now they don't have a degree, they've never held a management position,
Yeah.
but yet they were able to accomplish so many things for themselves, for their family, for them and their wives. But society has given us an impression that if he doesn't hold a degree, but she does, if he doesn't make as much money as she does, if she's the one to take the lead, why?
Yeah.
Since when does making more money equals me being better or stronger? Since when does me have? I think all of us can name a few people that have degrees and they're dumber than a doorknob.
So that goes back. That goes back. But I'm listening. I'm not reading. The miseducation of the Negro,
Hmm.
and that what you were saying. The miseducation of the Negro was like, oh, if they have this, then you cannot come to the lower class and expect to have a good life. That's just not
Hmm.
going to happen. So yeah, yeah,
Our producer made another good point. She said a true strong household has two halves, that come together to make a foundation worth building. We as women, we want that man to come in and take the lead, but do we really?
Right.
What
We
did
And
I
want
tell
him to.
you? I am ready for a soft life.
But hold
I'm
on,
ready
Miss
for
Marcy. Hold
ease,
on. Hold
luxury, and
on.
productivity.
Hold on. We want him to come in, but do we want him to come in the way we want him to come in?
mm-hmm.
Of course, and that's the problem.
Well, I don't know now, because some of us, we want that man to come in and to give us, provide that soft life for us. But if he doesn't do it that the way we want it done,
Because we're stuck in our ways,
We're
right?
we're
stuck in our
stuck in our
ways.
ways. We
Yeah.
have
Because
we have a visual in our mind of what that should look like.
Yeah.
Well, he should be having this job because a few couple of these couples that I mentioned before, the wife would say to him, "Won't you go back to school and get a degree? Won't you go back and finish that degree that you started? You
Mm-hmm.
know, because then people will see just how smart you are.
Hmm.
baby, ain't you living the life? Okay, sit
How
down.
smart
Leave me
I
alone.
am. What?
Yeah. And I shared a screenshot, and I'm gonna read it really quick. And just to think, even in the, I guess I could call it relationship that I'm in now, this guy doesn't have riches, right? But to think that he sees me, he hears me, we can have beautiful conversation. I don't need anything, outside of that. Like, love me for me, and let's do this thing called life, if that's where it's gonna go, but we're so stuck on the material things
Yeah.
because when we die, we cannot take these things with us, right? Sell your earthly possessions and let me see where your heart is at. That's where your treasures are, right? So if we really just focus on the good and not even appearance, not even the income that's coming in, work together and build, and you would be the richest person because that love would make you rich. You know what I'm saying?
Now that takes
Yeah. So
growth.
this was a post that
Oh, go ahead. You got the post. Go ahead.
sorry. No, you go ahead, Karon.
I was about to say that's where growth comes in. That's where evolution comes in.
Mm-hmm.
That's where expanding our mindset. What does that relationship that I desire look like, and how is it realistic, and can I achieve it? We need to unlearn those bad romance novels and bad film scripts that we learned. Amen.
Yeah.
And
Amen.
Anita Baker has a song called Fairy Tales. I shall not
Mm.
sing it because I got put out of the church choir. But listen to listen to Anita Baker's song Fairy Tales. Um, of course, I can't think of the words, and that's I don't know why that's one of my favorite songs by her. But it
Seriously.
talks about how what she thought the love was going to be and what it actually was. So and
Mm-hmm.
we need to come, like you said, those bad romance novels, and come off that perfection, because perfection is a
Mm-hmm.
trauma response.
It's it
Get up out,
exactly.
because
It doesn't exist.
your perfect person is never going to meet you because you are not perfect.
Exactly.
Give
And
Right.
me the person that will teach me
yes.
how to love, teach me how to be submissive, and I'm willing to be submissive to the man who will. I know if I leave my purse and I know that man is in there, babe, girl, because I have a girlfriend. She says when she's with her mate, she don't have to think, because her confidence in him taking care of
Mm-hmm.
her, and he has not failed her yet. That's right. That right there
Beautiful.
is that's my goal. Perfect is he? No. Perfect is she? No. But that
Mm-hmm.
confidence that she has in him, and I sit back and I've seen it and I love it. I'm like, yeah, I like this right here for her, and I
Yeah.
pray I get the same thing.
And you
You
Yeah.
know
will.
what? I
Yeah.
guarantee you. I'll say it. I guarantee you, she herself has released that strong woman, I do it all mindset.
Yep.
Has released it because and I'll take ownership of it. I'm working on it to let go of it. I.e., I got a young man in my household that reminds me, if you're gonna give it to me, let me do it. Otherwise, don't give it to me. Right?
Right.
So we those women who have realized, I don't need to know it all. I don't need to do it all. It's not about how much money I bring in or he brings in. It's what we do and build together. So
Mm-hmm.
those that have figured that out and have released it are in those relationships that you think are made of fantasies, that those relationships that you see on the TV or on the movies, that they look like they just got it all worked out. They don't, but
Yeah.
they're working it
On
out
social media. Yeah.
together. They're working it
Mm-hmm.
out together. So moving on. So those of us that feel like we need to do it all in order to be worthy or feel worthy, are those of us that are doing all the things because we saw someone else do it and we saw them as successful. They were successful because they did it all. They did the cooking, they did the cleaning, they worked a full-time job, they held a community role, they did make sure their children was here, there, and everywhere. And
Meanwhile, they sick.
And you know what? I'm really looking at unlearning the habit of doing it all. That's a trauma response.
Mm-hmm.
Yet another
It is. And
trauma.
I could attest to that because I stayed busy over the past few years because whether it was not wanting to deal with reality,
yeah,
right? So I think it was just me wanting to do because I didn't have to think about what was really happening in front of me. So it is, I would definitely agree it's a
it
trauma
is.
response.
It is. And I think of, okay, so, all right, I'm understanding I don't need to do it all. But how do I get to that point of realizing that I'm doing too much? Well, let me give you some signs that may indicate you're doing too much. Constant fatigue, irritability, and one that you may not even think is a sign that I'm carrying too much is feeling guilty for getting some rest.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you, I took a nap on Sunday. I think I said, you know what? I'm gonna take a nap today. I was intentional about taking a nap. So I laid down about 4:30. I could go to sleep like we fully talking right
Real
here. I
quick,
could
you said that. Yeah.
wash this face, this makeup off my face, take a shower real quick and go, and I'll be in sleep in 32 milliseconds. So I said I'm gonna take a nap. Of course, went to sleep. 4:30 when I woke up, it was 7:40. I saw. I got up and I said, nope. Let's go back to sleep. So I woke up
I
about
love it.
9:40. And when I tell you that nap was what I needed emotionally, because
Mm-hmm.
I've been going through a whole bunch. Because I like I said, I was gonna come to my therapy appointment with vodka and tonic, and my therapist was like, look, this shit right here is for the birds. Okay. Okay. So emotionally, I needed that nap. And that nap, when I got up from my nap, God was like, sweetheart, you need rest. You need it, and it is okay. Because rest is my divine responsibility for my
Mm-hmm.
health.
Yeah.
Take a nap. Those let them kids be hungry. They not gonna die. They just gonna be hungry. Tell them to drink some water. Your
Or
husband,
That's
better
it.
yet, set up some snacks before they get home, so when they get home, they can eat the snacks and you can go take a nap.
They
right?
straight.
Because women we die of heart disease.
We do.
We
We do.
I don't know what the statistic is, but we die of heart disease.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
die taking care of these people.
Bebe kids.
And not only that, don't put it all on the kids now, because it's us who take on too much on our
Right.
calendars, trying to do it all for
Yeah.
everybody and not even doing enough for ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah. So
So
true.
So
rest is your divine birthright. I think that was one of
it
my
is.
affirmations. Rest is my
Mm-hmm.
divine birthright. Now
So
I'm like Clavia. I don't take a day, but one day during the week, I need to be in the bed at about 8:30 because I wake up my alarm goes off at 4:15 in the morning.
mhm.
Um, so I need a day during the week to go to sleep extra early because I don't go to sleep till 9:30, 10 sometimes because I'm always doing something. So I'm recognizing that, yeah, no. Saturday, I think I went to the oh no, Saturday I did do a little running around. But Sunday after church, I came home and said, "You shall not go anywhere."
Nap
Even
time.
though my car is messed up, I ain't supposed to go nowhere. But I'm taking a day out the weekend to just stay at home.
And that could be God's way of letting you
Yeah.
do that,
Yeah.
where you don't have your car because you would be on the go, right? But now you don't have a choice, so you will take your nap,
Exactly.
whether you like
Oh,
it or
but
not.
when I got up from the
But you like it,
yeah, and
yeah.
it was just I think if audience take a nap and then come back and tell us how you feel.
Hmm. Hmm. Make it a habit.
At least take a
So
nap one time. If you do it on the weekend, try to, even if it's a 45-minute nap. Mine was a couple of hours, but try a 45 minute. That was
10
sleepy.
minutes.
So let me get to these reflection points. So we agree. We agree. We do too much, thinking that our doing is where our value lies. That's a lie from the pit of hell. We won't say no because we want to be there for everybody and everything but ourselves. Although we need to be there for ourselves, we agree on that. We agree that there are societal expectations that have been placed on us for many reasons, that we actually have accepted the assignment of what society has placed on us to do those things, to be the superwoman that
Hmm.
negatively impacts our culture. So we agree to all of that, recognizing when we're in I'm doing too much mode because I'm tired.
Hmm.
Even when I rest, I feel guilty. That's a sign that you don't.
Okay, well, Karon didn't want to finish her statement. So,
I did want to continue kind of what she was saying, feeling that fatigue, but ignoring it. Oh,
Okay,
there
I
she
don't
is.
know.
And I was even going to mention like hair loss,
Yes.
right? You wonder, why am I losing
Yes.
my hair? Why do I have acne? Because you're doing too
Yes.
much.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, um, I'm doing too much. How am I going to correct it? Stop doing so much.
Hmm.
It may require you to reorganize your day, may require you to start realizing, do I need to be at every event this weekend? Do I really need to be
Mm.
there at every event? It may come to the point of you like, you know what? If I don't lay down somewhere and get some rest, it's by choice or by force. Our bodies will put us down. Our
Hmm.
bodies will put
Hmm.
us down. So let me get to these
you
reflection
know what?
points.
Just real quick,
Go ahead.
um, this summer I had pneumonia. And it was the best summer and it was the worst summer. But baby, when I went, I saw Jesus because I could have sworn I died. He said, "Go back
Oh.
because ain't no room for you at this end right now." But I had ripped and ran all summer long. When I said it was the best summer and the worst summer, that pneumonia sat. It's, and you know, the old people sucked me down. It sucked me down. So, like you said,
Mm.
before you get pneumonia or anything near that, please rest. Because when I say I thought
Yeah.
I died several times, it's not a good feeling.
It's not. It
Yeah.
really isn't. I want to share with our audience these reflection points. And these reflection points are designed to get you to thinking of how I can change my mindset. Because everyone, listen, the only way to get to a point of making these changes in your life is to acknowledge that the changes need to be made. You got to acknowledge it. And oftentimes, by
Mhm.
reflecting on your life, reflecting on these questions, they can help you. So, the first one is, what would I change in my life if I stopped equating my value with my busyness?
Mm. That's good.
What would it be? Think about that for a moment. What change in my life would could I make if I stopped making? Well, if I'm doing a lot, that means I'm good. I'm on top of my game. Woo! I am making it happen. No, you're not. No, you're not. The second reflection point to consider is, how does fear of disappointing others keep us from prioritizing ourselves?
Mm. That's good.
I don't want to disappoint my mom because she has an expectation of me doing X, Y, Z. I don't want to disappoint my man. I don't want to disappoint my boss. I don't want to disappoint my children. I don't want to disappoint. I don't want to disappoint. How about I don't care if I disappoint?
Mhm.
Right.
Because right now it's about me,
For sure.
Definitely.
right? So those
Yeah.
two questions, I believe, listeners, and for us too, because trust me, we're talking to ourselves as we go over these points.
Mm-hmm.
Considering what is it that I can do to really truly see my worth, to see that I am valuable, I am worthy of taking a nap, I am worthy of sitting down, I am worthy of just taking the Saturday and just doing nothing. I am worthy of whatever. They
Yeah.
literally, you don't need anything after that. Just period. I am worthy. Period. With that being said, I want to give this as a closing thought. Doing it all is not the badge of a strong woman. It is the burden of a tired woman. It's time to put the weight down and let your softness, as Miss Marcy says, lead.
Lead. Yes.
Let your softness lead. Ah, what an amazing way to end this conversation.
Yeah. That's
Right?
good.
Doing it all is not the badge of a strong woman.
That's
Your
right.
strength lies is when you can make decisions that support you and living that soft life that you keep saying that you want.
Mm-hmm.
The soft life
Choosing you.
I have, because hey, this is the
Exactly.
AM affirmation
It
space.
is.
And
Thank you
I'm
for
going to
the
speak nicely
correction.
to myself.
Thank you for the redirection.
Right.
Thank you. So, with that thought,
I
we're gonna
love
get
it.
to our affirmations. But listeners, just understand that you don't have to prove yourself to nobody but you.
Yeah.
That's it. And proving yourself worthy of rest and relaxation and that soft life you say you want. And we're not talking a superficial soft life. We're talking that internal soft life where you are gentle with yourself. You are speaking nicely
Mm-hmm.
to yourself. You are choosing you over extreme. You are choosing you over the hustle. You're choosing you over not getting sleep. You are choosing you every time.
Amen.
Right? All right, let me get to these affirmations, y'all, because I can talk about this subject for a little bit longer. I trust that God never asked me to carry every burden alone. I release control and lean into divine guidance and rest in the peace of knowledge He's got the plan for me, not me. He's got it.
Amen.
I unlearned the need to overextend and relearn the art of balance, ease, and surrender.
Mm.
I don't have to carry it all. Rest is holy and help is divine.
Mm.
Scripture. Cast all your cares on him because he cares for you. First Peter 5, verse
He
7.
does care for you. You guys will
Amen.
hear us make references to our spiritual beliefs often here, but I also want to be cognizant that not everybody has the same spiritual walk that we do. And we're not
Mm-hmm.
minimizing that. And we do our best to acknowledge everyone's choice of their spiritual walk. Ultimately, in every one of our conversations, it boils down to us simply choosing us. Every one
Yeah.
of our conversations. And we here often tap into our spirituality to fortify us in our decision to choose us,
Yeah.
because we understand that spiritually, when I am healed, when I'm strong, when I am fortified spiritually, it's very easy for me to make those decisions of
Yes.
choosing me first. It's very easy.
Exactly.
So not taking
Yeah.
anything from anyone, but we just want to, I just want to share a little piece of why we do what we do. Okay. All right, y'all. Listen, it's been good. One more great conversation that we have had today. Miss
Yes,
Marcy
yes.
dropping gems all over the place, looking all gorgeous and everything, like a piece of chocolate. Indeed. You feel free to scan that QR code and watch this full episode. We love when we have our listeners, especially new listeners. Make sure you subscribe, turn on those alerts so you know when our new episodes, which tend to be every Friday, you'll know when they drop so you
Mhm.
can go on in and listen. And please, please, please feel free to leave us a comment. We want to know what you got to say
Yes,
about it.
please.
You know, we've been doing
Let's
this.
talk
Listen,
about it.
we celebrated our year anniversary a little bit ago, about a week or two ago. So we want you to know that we thank you for being here and let us know that you're here.
Mm-hmm.
And as usual, we end every episode saying what, Miss Clavia, what is it that we say at the end of every episode?
You are your first priority. So act like it.
Absolutely. Until next
Don't
time,
forget it.
everyone, peace and blessings to you all. And always remember, speak nicely to yourself. Bye bye, everyone.
Yes. Bye.